The stock of Motherson Sumi, after gaining for 6 straight sessions today, is sulking in trade, and how the stock in fact has lost close to 8% intraday. And one of the key developments that we'd like to flag off at this juncture, which is the stock of Motherson Sumi, after gaining for 6 consecutive sessions, finally has seen some reversal in trend. It's down in trade. In fact, it's skidding by quite a bit, almost 8% intraday. The stock is in focus on the back of an analyst call that they held on Friday evening. The street was expecting some buzz or some news developments related to some acquisition, but that did not happen. The promoters essentially showcased SAMIL's post-restructuring top 10 incubated businesses and their growth potential. So this was the key agenda of the con call, wherein they were talking about the growth prospects post the demerger. Let me flag off some key takeaways. What they essentially stated is that 8 out of their 10 businesses are self-sustaining and they are dividend paying as well. Over the last 10 years, the promoters family, that's Sehgal family, has invested profits into these businesses, and except 2 entities which were recently acquired, one of them is MMAS and the other one is MSGI. All other businesses are now self-sustaining and they can fund their own growth essentially. Over the long term, they've also flagged off how export markets will be a large part of the overall mix. We all are aware of the fact about the strong footing that Motherson Sumi has across key geographies in Europe, even North America and China for that matter. So export presence is something that will perhaps expand further, and it's going to augur well for SAMIL going forward as well. They said they're open to inorganic opportunities with the same kind of underlying philosophy that they've been holding on to all of this while. We all know how big on M&A Motherson Sumi has been in the past, how aggressively and extensively they have expanded inorganically in the past. Intra-group synergies are also being leveraged after top 10 businesses which they flagged off. There are 17 other businesses under SAMIL which they're incubating actively, and they are from non-core sectors. They belong to sectors like aerospace, IT, logistics, and even healthcare for that matter. So these are the smaller 17 other incubated businesses as well, which they talked about in detail. Analyst reactions have largely been positive. Edelweiss has said that there is potential to scale up the businesses that they've talked about. It looks quite encouraging given the way the commentary has been laid out and the outlook has come in from the management. Having said that, these businesses only make up of 5% of the total group revenue. So that is something that is a tad bit concerning. At least at this point, perhaps the contribution will increase eventually. But the analysts at Edelweiss want to sort of wait for financials post the demerger for a clearer vision, for a clearer view on these incubated businesses. They reiterate their buy given the preference for the businesses with high global presence and high share of the global business. And they've also said that post course correction regarding the new greenfield plants of Motherson Sumi, there is potential for earnings upside given the way the volumes are likely to recover. Some more analyst views coming in. Motilal has also maintained buy. Target that they've given is 141. They said that the reorganization within the company does align the interests of the minority shareholder with that of the promoter and creates platform for the next leg of growth for the company. The restructuring, according to them, will also give minority shareholder an option to choose which business they want to invest in. Their fundamental view remains intact over the long haul over Motherson Sumi. The stabilization of S&P's greenfield plant definitely will be critical for driving earnings recovery. Now, lastly, we also have Morgan Stanley being overweight on the stock. The target they've given is 121 rupees a piece. They've also said that the group has built impressive management leadership in each of the verticals. Their focus on the top 10 companies within SAMIL ex-MSS is definitely important to watch out for. Meanwhile, the stock doesn't really seem to reflect a similar kind of optimism that all of these brokerage houses have collectively given out after speaking to the management on Friday evening. The stock continues to trade quite weak. Let's see how it plays out over the medium to long term, but for now, definitely look